Alright, my name's Hal. Most people call me Bear, Delander. Play golf. Been playing since I was about a young 3. I started playing, my dad would do business meetings and stuff, and a good business way is to play golf. So I'd go out and tag along with him when he went out to practice and stuff. I've just fell in love with it ever since.
Hey, I am Maddie Saxton.
And I am Steven, her dad, and we're here to talk to you about Mr. Robert, who is Maddie's middle coach.
Yeah. I started working with Robert about a year ago. It's been awesome.
My name is Jack Weeks. I'm from Savannah, and I play out here at the golf club. And I met Robert, or Mr. Price, when I was 10 or 11 years old, and I'd met him from a middle school golf tournament.
How did we find Robert? Do you remember?
Through junior golf, we just knew him and his kids and Hayden and Kyle and everyone. We just already knew him pretty much, and he was my middle school golf team coach. So that helped as well.
So we were fortunate to meet Robert and learn a little bit about him when he started doing some clinics and some sessions at the Savannah Golf Club. My wife and I attended one, and as soon as we heard what Robert had to say, we got Jack involved.
I met up with Robert about a year ago, year and a half. My mental game wasn't horrible. It definitely needed some help to keep me positive on shots and holes that I wasn't my best. But I think as soon as I met up with him, it wasn't bad. But as we went along, it was getting better, and always room for improvement on that. I feel like the mental side's a huge part of the game. Keep you positive. The more positive, the better strokes you can take off, and it just keeps you happy. And the happier you are, the more fun, the better you play.
Well, before I was really, I got upset over like everything, every little thing. I would like either start crying or slam my club down or that kind of stuff. And
Be really mad at Dad and really mean to Dad.
that too. And afterwards, I've been able to move on from things that I wouldn't have before, and by moving on from things, I'm able to hit a good shot next instead of dwelling on the last shot and hit a terrible swing or whatever, and so I just get more focused by being able to do that, being able to move on, gets my focus staying on the game that I'm playing.
If tournament a while back, if I started off not how I wanted, I'd let that weigh me down, and I'd go to the next hole thinking I lost a couple shots there. I just think about that my whole round, and that my mental game would go down as downhill. But I feel like now with Robert, looking at some of those seminars, some of the things he's told me and shown me, I think there's actually the coolest thing is this it's a piece of paper. It's just a blank piece. After a bad hole, I crumble it up and throw it away, and it kind of gets it off my brain. That's one thing he's been big into. He's kind of shown me that everybody's gonna have challenges. You gotta forget it, go to the next thing, stay positive.
This past summer, Jack was playing Savannah Junior Golf Association. He was pretty frustrated. Sat down with Robert right over there on the bench about a week before he played in the Savannah Junior City Am, and goes out and shoots his first score in the 60s. It was like 3 days later. I think he sat down with Robert on a Thursday, and the tournament was the next Monday and Tuesday, and Jack shot 67 on the second day.
Well, I think that my scores are going to keep going down, and I think that my handicap's going to go down it's been going down really, really fast, so I think it's going to keep going quickly. And I'll probably move up level in my tournaments pretty soon in the Peggy Kirk Bell Tour.
I think I'm going to be a lot better player than I was a couple of years ago when I met him. So I think I'm just going to keep on getting better and better.
About a year and a half ago about a year ago when you started working with Robert, it really changed his demeanor in competing.
I feel like it's not just for golf. All sports, I take the things, the seminars, the lessons, pictures he shows me. All my sports. I play basketball, football, baseball, and golf. So I use that in my life and those sports.
Oh, I would definitely recommend that they talk to Robert, because there's only so far that the physical side of golf in particular can take you. Being able to hit it far, putt, chip, etc. Certainly that's a part of it, but pretty much when you get into competition, everybody can do that. It's kind of who can who can do what they do better than the other person does what they do, if that makes any sense. And I think that's where Robert comes into play, is you don't necessarily have to be the most talented. You don't necessarily have to be the physical best. You have to be better at what you do than anybody else is at what they do. And I think that's how Robert gets so much out of his players. So
Finding that balance between getting the benefits from golf and not letting it poison you can be very difficult. Golf can really challenge you in that respect as a parent. So Robert doesn't just help Maddie, he helps me. He helps me keep things in perspective, to see things correctly. And he also helps us find that balance of working hard, going after your goals, but not letting golf become poison. Not letting it become something more than a sport or a game that you play and that you're good at. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. He keeps it healthy.
I would definitely highly recommend, talking to Elite Minds and getting into some sessions with Robert to really identify, number one, what should you expect, and then how can you reach those expectations. I think it's that's what he did for Jack, and I think he can do that for virtually anybody.